Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to Tuesday. Laughing then. I've got Barry behind me, Barry the cat, who was just snoring. So I was laughing at him snoring while I'm trying to chat to you guys. How have you been? What have you guys been up to since we last spoke, since we last saw each other yesterday? Right, let's pop you guys there and then I can chat. There we go. Yeah, what have you been doing? What have you been up to? I have been, what did I do last night? I've had a really busy morning. I think we just chilled out last night. I think we just watched films. But this morning I have been doing my artist Instagram. So I have, if anyone's interested, I have a Nell Price artist Instagram page, which is very exciting. I've also, what else have I been doing? Getting ready for, I've got Kids Create this afternoon, which is very exciting. I've got lots of one-to-ones coming up this afternoon as well. So yeah, I've had a busy day. And I've had some great chats about kind of festivals and pantomimes and lots of things going on in Southborough and High Brooms, which is very exciting. So we've got a festival coming up at the end of June, I think the dates are at the moment. We'll see. So I'm feeling hopeful this morning, having had the chat about lots of different positive things, and hoping that they're all going to go ahead this year. I'm sure they will. June will be fine, right? June will be fine. I'm sure it'll be okay. Do say hi if you're with us. Do comment. Let me know you're here. Let me know what you guys have been up to as well. It's always interesting to see. Or I tell you what I'll do is I'll pop a link to my Nell Price Instagram page as well. I'll pop a link to that in the comments later on so you guys can see if you would like to. So I've been doing lots of work on that at the moment, which has been great. It's actually been quite nice to have the time to work on my own artwork as well as sharing lots of lovely things with you guys. So yeah, say hi if you're here. We're going to work with soft pastels today, so I'm going to get mine out. I've got a really lovely set from Artway, this one is. And they're beautiful. And it's probably, I'm not sure if it's the biggest set they do, but it's a bigger set. So there's 24 different colours, but look how bright and beautiful they are. There's just some stunning colours in there. So because I've had my morning brightened, and feeling all hopeful and lovely and wonderful, we're going to do a sunflower, more specifically a quarter of a sunflower, in soft chalks. So we're going to use all the yellows and the oranges, and a few of the browns and things as well. So that's what we're going to be working with today. So hopefully you guys have got some paper and your soft chalks. As I say, do comment and say hi so that I know you're all with me and I don't feel like a mad woman just talking to myself, which is useful. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're basically going to use a corner of this. So we're going to go for this corner here, and we're just going to stipple. It's an effect called stippling, which basically means you just dot it, and do lots of dots. But pointillism is a movement of art, if you wanted to look into that later, using lots of dots and lots of spots. But that's the kind of texture and technique that we're going to use for this bit here. Just for the seeds, really, to represent all the seeds of the sunflowers, and hopefully they will brighten your day as well. So I'm going to drop you guys down so you can see. Let me move some things out of the way. There we go. There we go. There. So, Sapphire, you're a tad late again if we missed anything. Not at all. We're going to work with soft chalks today. So hopefully you've got some soft chalks with you. I am going to start off, we're going to be doing a sunflower. So I'm going to start off with the corner here. We're just going to do a quarter of a sunflower. And in this corner here, I'm going to draw a line. Actually, you guys don't necessarily need to do this, but I'm just going to draw a line to show you how kind of big I'm going to go. So I might go out a bit to here. And hopefully these beautiful sunflowers will brighten up your day. So hopefully you can see that because I've drawn it nice and black. That's about how far out we're going to go. And we are going to use black. So I'm going to use black. I'm going to use the browns that I've got. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Chalk dust up my nose. I'm going to use the kind of ochre type colours here as well. Possibly the white as well going in there. So you can see the kind of colours sections that I'm using. And we're going to stipple, which basically means dots. So I'm just going to do little dots here and there. You can see that I'm doing quite a few. And this is very good technique if you've got lots of aggression to take out. Don't break your chalks while you're doing this. But it is lovely and very nice and noisy, which is great. I like to make a noise while we're doing it. Oh, thank you, Sapphire. Bless you. Hello, Lindsay and Ruby. Excellent stuff. So keep going. And I'm just going to switch up the colours. So I've done my black. So I'm now going to move on to the brown. And the idea is that all these dots eventually will cover up all the white gaps in between. So there'll still be some. And we're going to try and leave that and not smudge it. We're just going to leave the stippling effect as it is. And you can see that it's building up quite quickly because these are nice big chalks. So they're building up lovely. The pointillism movement I was talking about earlier, much smaller dots, much smaller. And, oh, that's a nice colour. Much smaller and takes a lot longer. And a lot more concentration than this. Oh, hello, Jane. Oh, I got the chalks from Artway, lovely. If I put that there, can you all see that? It might be backwards, actually. I've realised Facebook Live does things backwards. But it's just called Artway, artway.com. And they do these. These are just gorgeous. And they're so nice and bright and colourful as well. They really are lovely ones to use, actually. There we go, so I'm just going to get them in there. And I've got another couple of lighter colours to go on to there as well, just to lift that. And again, we're just trying to fill in the gaps. So if you haven't got your chalks yet... Oh, Lindsay and Ruby, have your chalks arrived? You'll have to tell me if your chalks and oil pastels arrived. You can just use kind of any colours you want. Obviously, I've got the choice. I'm very lucky to have a choice of lots of colours. If you've got fewer colours, just use fewer colours but dot them more. Or you could use like blackboard chalk, coloured chalk if you wanted to. You could get some really leery colour sunflowers using those, which I quite like. Or you could, I mean, you could do this in oil pastels as well. It'd probably cover it a lot quicker in oil pastels. There we go, and I'll just do that last light one, just getting a little bit of yellow colour in there. I'm not sure if I need the white actually. I was going to put white in there, but I don't think I will. I think I'll leave it. So can you see how all those colours have built up and built up onto one another? They're coming between 1 and 2. Oh, bless you. Coming today. Exciting, exciting stuff. So we will do further weeks. I'm sure lockdown's going to go on a little bit longer. So we will do further weeks of chalks and oil pastels, so you guys will get a chance to use them more. So there we go. So can you see how they've kind of built up and built up on top of each other, which is very lovely. So what I'm going to do is turn this round so that I don't smudge that with my hand. So I'm going to kind of work on it that way. Ruby's very excited. I'm not surprised. I think I'd be excited. I'm always excited about new art supplies. So colours that I'm going to use now. So I'm going to go for my yellows again. But I'm actually going to get those browns out again as well. So I'm going to put those up there. And maybe that darker one for a bit of shading. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the yellow. And I'm going to do half a petal here. I'm going to kind of make it go to there. And I'm going to go nice and big with these. As you can see, I'm being very sketchy with them. And then I am actually going to mark out extra petals coming out there as well. I might make that one a little bit bigger. There we go. So hopefully you can see where I've marched those petals out. Now I'm just going to work on the inner ones first. So I'm not worried about these ones. I'm going to work on the inner ones. I will warn you, you will get messy doing this as well. So I'm just going to go yellow, and actually what I might do is do one, no, I'll do them all. So all the inner petals, I'm just going to colour in with the yellow. I'm not worried too much about if I leave white gaps because we're going to smudge this really nicely with your finger. The trick is finding a finger that's not coloured in another colour. There we go. I'm going to put a bit of yellow around there as well. There we go. So I'm just going to use that finger because it's clean. I'm just going to smudge that in quite nicely. There we go. These are really nice and soft. They have arrived. Oh, bless you, Lindsay. Oh, Jane, you found them online. Excellent. Yeah, 20. I'm pretty sure these are set of 24. Yeah, set of 24 colours. Excellent stuff. I do love chalks and oil pastels. So nice to work with. And although you can get similar-ish effects with them, they feel so different when you're working with them. Right, so I'm just going to tap that to one side so that I clear off the excess. So there's all my nice yellow there. And then I'm just going to go in with a bit of a darker yellow, or sort of orange, really, sort of a light orange. And I'm almost going to colour in like the middle of them. So I'm just adding a nice bit of chalk to the middle. And I'm going to do all these at once before I smudge them. So I'm going to go to the darker orange and put that into the very middle. So you've got almost kind of 3 layers there of colour. Yeah. So you've got your darker orange in the middle, lighter orange, and then your yellow. Okie doke. So I'm just... I've arrived just this second. Excellent. There we go. Well, you've got 6, Jane, have you? That's excellent. And I'm just going to really smudge this one in because I want it really quite blended. And obviously, you're going to get completely different effects with chalks depending on how much you blend them, how much you use the side of the pastel rather than the whole thing. Oh, got a nice orange bit there. There we go. I'm just going to tap that. Okie doke. And then I'm going to use the browns that I've got to just add in just a couple of kind of almost random lines coming upwards. Because if you look at sunflower petals, they're actually quite nice and streaky. I'm going to use a little bit of the darker one. You can see that I'm just flicking out only about halfway, or not even halfway really, up the petal. Okay, and again I'm just gonna smudge those in, but not as much as I was smudging in the last lot, so you can still see the streaks there. I'm just gonna tap off the excess. There we go, some beautiful, beautiful, lovely sunflower petals. And again, if you don't have that many colours, don't worry, just use the colours that you've got. Don't worry, you don't necessarily have to put so many layers in. It's probably just me being fancy and, what's the word? Showing off. I've got 24 colours. Right, so I'm going to go for the outer petals and we're going to colour these in. But these are going to be slightly different. So we're still going to do the yellows and the oranges. So I'm going to get these in. And I'm going to get it all in actually and smudge them. So yellow, lighter orange. And this is where you've got to be careful not to smudge the other ones that you've already done too much. Yeah, nice bit of lighter orange in there and then the darker orange in the middle. I'm going to really smudge these. Now, if you're worried about your fingers kind of getting in and smudging the whole thing too much, you can get a bit of tissue and kind of twist the end and use the point to smudge them. So you can do that. I'm just being really messy and lazy, so I'm not doing that. But you guys can. So again, really blend those. Try not to blend in with the other petals that you've already done. Oh, thanks, Jane. Looks amazing. Thank you. There we go. Really blend that in. And tap off the excess. Let's stay at that table. Right. Then we're going to use the browns. So this is where it kind of differs to these ones because we've got a nice point here. So I'm going to start with this brown here. And these come all the way out. And you're coming from a point where it's behind, sits behind those other petals. So you really want to, and we're putting in probably a few extra than what we would put in normally, because we're not only putting the streaks in, but we're emphasising the shadow of the fact that these petals are behind the others. There we go. Oh, you don't need special paper, Jane. No, this is a thicker white paper, so it's a kind of a cartridge paper, but you can just use normal white paper for chalks. Works just as well. So this is a bit thicker, it's got a little bit more texture on it, that's the only difference. And again, not smudging those in too much, just very gently. Tap off the excess, and there you have it. One finished corner of a sunflower. You can put it up whichever way you like. Excellent stuff. So the other thing that I forgot to tell you yesterday is if you're working with oil pastels or with chalks, use a hairspray to fix them because they will smudge afterwards. So I'm just going to pick this up and spray it, and you'll notice when you do chalks particularly, not so much oil pastels, but when you do chalks, when you spray them, they do go a little bit darker. So I'm just going to hold that up there so you can see it's actually already become like much more vibrant and darker. They will dim down a little bit when the hairspray dries, so just give that time to dry, but it really helps fix them so they don't smudge as much later on, or when you put them in a frame, hopefully, in your beautiful house. Look at the state of my hands everywhere. Anyway, that's it for today. Tomorrow you will need a darker piece of paper. So you were talking about paper, Jane. You will need a darker piece of paper, preferably black paper, but I know not everybody's got black paper, so you can use like a dark brown paper. Packaging paper. So Lindsay and Ruby, you've just got your delivery, you might get some packaging paper in there. Definitely use that if you don't have black paper. That's quite a nice colour to use. We'll be using the soft chalks, so we'll be using these ones, and you will need a piece of white card or white paper, a pen and a pair of scissors. I will put all this in the comments so that you remember. But those are the things that you will need for tomorrow. Because we're gonna do a nice easy one for tomorrow. It's Wednesday tomorrow, it's halfway through the week, so I thought I'd go easy. But colourful, but good colourful one. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. Do I need to tell you anything else? No, that's it. That's it. See you tomorrow, guys. See you tomorrow at 1. Have a good rest of your day.